Hey everybody, it is now Wednesday the 17th of February, and this is my favorite sweater this week. I've been wearing it for a few days, so you'll see it a bit. I decided that I'm going to do something, respond to a request. I don't respond to a lot of requests, mainly because I know what happens when you do that. You get stuck, and then the next thing you know, you're just responding to requests, and you lose control of what it is you want to do. So that's why I don't respond to a lot of requests, and that's I get to choose. So today I'm going to dedicate. I'm going to do some record pulls. I'm going to dedicate it to Trish Mullins, DJ Trish. Trish is another fine, upstanding member of the BC. Trish is also someone I consider a sister because I know, like me, Trish, that you in life have dealt with and probably still deal with people who treat you badly, who see you and make a judgment about you and are unkind. And I just know the truth about you. Just a most wonderful person, even though we've never met in person. I don't need to know that. You've been very kind, not just with gifts, but just when I watch your videos, your soul comes through. You know, you're a good person. You're caring. You know, you're a loving, decent person, and you're a music lover. So I'm going to go over here and pull some things. Before I do that, I'm going to incorporate another response to a question, which at this point now, I'm speaking honestly. I'll make videos and then I'll see comments and questions, and sometimes the questions seem like send-ups. It's like, because I'll be thinking to myself, are you serious? But again, I can't know because these people don't know me. For example, a couple of videos ago, someone left a query about recommending Grand Funk Railroad. I deleted it because I thought to myself, that can't be serious. Someone needs a recommendation about Grand Funk Railroad? Are you serious? Maybe they were, but it's like, to me, it's like at this point, if you don't know about Grand Funk Railroad, really? It's just me, okay? Please, try to understand, it's just my perception, okay? Someone else asked in my last video, or one of them, do you like The Clash? And it's an innocent question, and yet to me, because of me and my life, the question seems stupid. It seems obvious that I would like The Clash. Of course I like The Clash. And here's some of my, here's Complete Control singles. I can still remember buying this back in the 70s when it first came out here in Omaha. It was a big deal to me. Clash are badass. I also was able to get The Prisoner and White Man at Hammersmith Palais. The Prisoner is the side I like. I don't like the Clash were terrible at playing reggae. They were. They can't play reggae. And then this is one that I was able to just pick up probably very cheaply. Promo of Gate to the West. Groovy Times. I didn't get to see the original Clash. I got to see the last version of the Clash after Mick Jones was gone here in Omaha. It was still exciting to see Joe Strummer. Didn't get to meet him, but I got to see them. So, also I have some Clash on LP. And I'll just pull, that'll be my first pull, is this section, just a little section here, okay? So in this section I pulled, I'll get to those, but I'm going to show you. So what I have on LP, don't have everything. Please, I don't want to hear that stupid comment, oh, you don't have London Calling. No, I don't have London Calling. I got the first one. This is my second copy. I bought an original way back when and then sold it, and this is the Drastic Plastic reissue. Give them enough rope. You know, when this first came out, I was very disappointed. You know, I really was. I could just hear how America had gotten a hold of the band and tried to make everything all slick and commercial. It really pissed me off. But over time, it came through how good this album actually is. Black Market Clash. Got this. Capital Radio once, you know, some great singles put on there's a 10-inch version of this I don't have, and I have Sandinista. 3 LP set. This one is, kind of a sprawling, trying all kinds of different things. Actually, some of the more experimental cuts on here are the ones I like the most. Okay, and let's gonna try to. There's a song in here I really like that's not a big time. The Street Parade up here is one I really like. Now, some other albums that I pulled that are right next to the Clash, because everything's in alphabetical order. Here is some Stanley Clark Duke Project. Here's one that I picked up for $1. Of the records that I have by Stanley Clark, this one I do not like, but I have it in the collection. I don't like this. Maybe one day I'll be in the right mood, but I haven't been yet. School Days, I have this, and I seldom play this because, once again, Stanley Clark is a very good player, but he very obviously was playing to a commercial market. He wanted a career, he wanted to make money, and it makes sense so that he could have it, so he could live. So he made this album with some very obvious concessions to commercialism that turned me off as a listener. So I don't listen to this. His first solo album of that ilk, I don't know if this is his very first solo album, but Journey to Love is better because, once again, it's him still in the mindset that, okay, I'm getting a chance to make a musical statement. So as well as doing things hoping to make the record commercially sellable, this is really good music. Real good. Journey to Love. Stanley Clark. Seen him play live, never got to meet him. My older brother, who is quite the bass player, one time when Return to Forever came to Omaha, after the show, the band went to 2 different places. Lenny White and Al Di Meola went down to the market here in Omaha to the Howard Street Tavern, and I caught wind of that, so I went down there and met Lenny and Al and drank with them. Chick and Stanley, however, went to the north side over to Alan's showcase where they knew all the cats played, everyone from Miles Davis to you name it. And they had a big jam session over there, which I missed. My older brother, though, went. Now, the cool story is that when Stanley and Chick just went, they didn't take their instruments. So when they decided to sit in and play, Stanley had to use either my brother's bass or something to that effect, but pretty cool. Some other records sitting right here, not right in alphabetical order, is John Clark on ECM plays French horn. Here's one of those ECM titles that probably isn't as well known. Faces, very likely an album that probably is dismissed when seen, but this is beautiful music. It is not a cookie cutter sound from ECM. This is wonderful music. John Clark. French bassist Jean-François Joni Clark. Unison on the Contemporary Music Production label. And this is a quartet with Joachim Kuhn on piano, Christoph Lauer on sax, and Walter Quintus digital electronics. Haven't played this in a while, but I know I like this a lot. It's jazz, but it's that nether region where jazz and electronics and contemporary ideas meet up. I love stuff like this. Then the next one, because they're all in alphabetical order, is George Clark. Mergulho. I believe this is Brazilian. And this is wonderful. For a time in my life, I was thought of this music as kind of like, I would dismiss a lot of this jazz as coffee table jazz or jazz light. And my appreciation, partially through interacting with people in the VC, has broadened for this sound. Okay, it's kind of helped me to recontextualize this music. A really bad example of what I mean is Kenny G. That's coffee table jazz to me. Okay, that's just like, oh my God. And yet he's still a good musician. So my appreciation of this sort of thing has gotten better, but this is much better than what Kenny G was putting out. Honestly, this is really good. And then at the front Right after the Clash, alphabetically, comes this Thomas Clausen piano, Rain, another jazz date. So this is something I need to hear, listen more. I know it's very good. Nils Henning Orsted Peterson on bass, who played for many years with Oscar Peterson, is in the rhythm section here. I do remember that this cover, Rain, is very fitting for the sound of this album. This is a good one. Here's a classic album that I think didn't do so well when it first came out, and over the years with collectors and people who like psychedelic music has gained stature. Clear Light. Some notable people in this band. Some actor came out of this band. Is it Cliff DeYoung? Dallas Taylor, who played drums with Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, was in this band. Ralph Schuckett, organ, who's played with a million people. Doug Lubon. Isn't Doug in this band? Yeah, bass guitar. He was the original bass player in the band Dreams, one of my favorite albums from adolescence, Dreams. I'm going to show this one because this is a nice copy of the album where I have the insert, the inner sleeve. And over the years, these older albums, when you find them intact with the printed inner sleeves, is pretty cool. I've had more than one copy of this album, so my first copy didn't have the original inner sleeve. So when I got this found this replacement copy, it was very cool. Very good album. Mr. Blue and Sand are standouts on here. Here's an album I got directly through the VC. It was VCLT from Van Nixon, who doesn't make videos anymore. Secapunk. Clear Light. Not the Clear Light from France. This is an American band that I had never heard of. Now, when he gave this to me, I wasn't hearing nothing about this album. Since then, recently, I've seen several VC members find copies of this album. This is kind of unusual. There's a concept to the album, and it's a mixture of styles that, they're going for something, and it's slightly, you really have to kind of work with this album. I've listened to it several times before I could get the gist of it. It seems kind of untogether, but it's really very ambitious and quite good. Clear Light. Thank you, Van, if you see this. I do have a couple albums by the French band Clear Light Orchestra, which has an association to Gong, and this is their album Visions. Cyril Verdeau, Didier Lockwood. He's got the people. Didier Malherbe from Gong is on here. Christian Boulez. Great people. Gerard Aumont, I believe he played with Magma. Good stuff. Electronic. Cosmic. Good stuff, okay? I'll do one more for you, all right, Trish? Okay, so I grabbed some from here. I grabbed some here. My records start at C here. A to B is out in the other room, okay? So I'm going to go over here, and this should be interesting. Okay. We'll grab some of these from the M's. And I've probably shown some of these records in the past, but I'll show them. Okay, so the first one that pulled, Modern English, the English band that had the big hit with Melt With You, but a great band. This is autographed by the band. You can't see it because I didn't have they're very, yeah. I got to see them before they hit it big and got to interview them for a fanzine. They were great people. Very, very nice. I still think their first album, Mesh and Lace, is a classic. One of the best post-punk albums ever made. This still has blistering energy. Modern English, Mesh and Lace. Don't sound like the band that made Melt With You, hardly. Moby Grape. This one is really 20 Granite Creek. This album is more country than what I like, but the last song is killer and saves it all. Horse Out in the Rain. Killer, psychedelic, crazy song, cool. Moby Grape. I also have, Moby Grape Wow. And Grape Jam that goes with it. Now this band has never been one of my favorites, but their song Omaha, which was a minor hit, is a great song. That's still to me my favorite piece of music by Moby Grape. But these records, that cover, yeah, these are permanent in my collection. Moby Dick. This is there's quite a story about this album, released posthumously on a Karma. The long story is in here about, I believe it's an Italian band, sounding a bit like Led Zeppelin. They thought something was going to happen for a while. They got flown over to England to make this album, and then nothing ever happened. And there's parts about this album that are really sloppy. It's amazing that it was made in a studio. It's like the drumming drops and all kinds of weird shit. But the compositions, this is like very ambitious, really hard rocking, some really good songs. Moby Dick. Another one that I got through the internet, through the vinyl community. Techno. I still have it's on Rising High Records. That's the main thing I can tell you. An MLO production. Rising High, very, very influential label in the development of electronic techno music, and this is a good example of it. I haven't played it in a while, but yeah, this is the real deal. Here's one that I bought years ago when some record stores would close out and they'd have these big sales, and I would just pick up stuff cheap because I don't know what it is, and this is one. I keep it because I still am not sure what to make of it. The Mobile Whorehouse. Kind of industrial sounding, but interesting enough that I just keep it. I can't remember the last time I played this, but it's one that's it remains here. It makes the cut. Member of Art Ensemble of Chicago, Roscoe Mitchell Sextet, sound on the famous Chicago label Delmark. Again, this is just some really bold music. I can't describe this particular date right off the top, but I see that the first track is titled Ornette, as in Ornette Coleman. Tells you a lot right there. Yeah, this is music to not mess around with. You know, this is good, hearty eating. Very healthy. I love me some Joni Mitchell. So, I don't have all of her albums, and some that I really want I don't have. And I even, as I pulled, I didn't pull all of my Joni Mitchell. I just grabbed. So, what we have here is Snakes and Ladders, 12-inch promo single from this album, Chalk Mark in a Rainstorm, which I like very much. Starts off with the song My Secret Place, which is a duet with Peter Gabriel. I like all eras of Joni Mitchell and think that she, God bless her, you know, she's still alive, and I know that she's getting up there, bless her. I think she's very bold and kind of a pioneer, and I think musicians recognize her, but the music industry overall, I don't think recognized just how much of a pioneer and how many doors Joni Mitchell opened and how much of an iconoclast the woman was. This is Dog Eat Dog. Haven't played this in a while, but I know this has got good stuff on it. Wild Things Run Fast. All these albums have merit. This one's fantastic. Mingus, Joni Mitchell's album that she did for Charles Mingus. You gotta hear this one. Don Juan's Reckless Daughter. Oh yeah. That's Joni Mitchell dressed up like a pimp, or kind of looking like Johnny Guitar Watson. That's what I always think when I see it. Another album she made with Jaco Pastorius, Hejira, however you say it. Wonderful. And then one of my favorites, The Hissing of Summer Lawns. Oh, just love this album. Just love it. Her live album with the LA Express, Miles of Isles, Court and Spark. And yes, there's more over there. I have blue. Yeah, I got blue. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there because it's 20 minutes. But that's for you, Trish. And I always want to try to make a point with my videos, you know, to express, share, you know, my feelings, you know, which is we live in a world where it's a myriad of people, and it's great. You know, we want to have good times and enjoy each other. But I think that we just spend so much time joking and being silly that it's. I feel like I feel a duty every now and then to just say the things that I do in my videos that are social. Not that I expect anything to happen, but you know, if one person has a new thought as a result of it that is helpful to them, then it was worth it. And I already know that that happens all the time. So that's why I do this. Trish, you're a fantastic person. And do not let people talk down to you. You know that already. God bless you.